Hello, good evening. Good evening, and welcome to today's live session. And I'm particularly excited about today because today is not like a walkthrough. So if you are live joining us already, just show your excitement, type in your name, your serial number, and experience about how you feel about the week 2, right? Yes, I know we know the flow already. Apologies, my screen, my face, because of where I am currently. Yes, you might not be able to see my face because of where I am currently. So you pardon me for that. The guest speaker will be joining us live soon. So I would like us to show excitement. We know the flow, right? Tell me your name, type in your serial number, and also your excitement of how you feel about week 2 session. This is a closure of phase 1, right? Yeah, Laden, Josh, excited to be here. You're welcome, Josh. You're welcome. So if you're just joining us also for the first time, probably you're invited by friends, a loved one, a colleague, type in where you are joining in from, and what made you to join this session, right? So let's interact. So I want to give the speaker enough time. So the speaker is here with us, and once it's time, she'll be joining us in. She's already at the backstage, and I'm excited to be here with us all. So Joe says he's excited to be here in this session. So I'm reading the comments. I'm in the comment section. Unique Latin, you're welcome. Thank you for joining in. I just so much love these people because I love your consistency. I love your consistency. It shows a lot. It shows a lot. A desire for growth, a desire to improving in every area of life. I am really encouraged by your energy all throughout the session. So kindly go to the community, the learners community, and type in there that we are live and we are waiting for them. Tell them we're not going to wait for them for too long because this moment is packed. I mean packed. I hope you are with your notes. I'm also with my note because the person we have, oh my goodness, the person we are having tonight is not the person we should miss at all, right? So tell me your excitement about week 2 session. How excited are you about week 2 session? This is the closure of the phase 1 on purpose discovery, and there were a lot of experiences in week 1, and I know week 2 was more of a build-up. So tell me your experience. You know our flow of engagement. Yes, I can see many persons dropping in their name, their serial number, and so I want to hear from us your excitement, how you feel about week 2 session, and your excitement about this particular wrap-up session with our guest speaker and coach that is with us at the moment. So I'm in the comment section reading our messages, our excitement, and do not forget to tell your what's it called? Those in the community that we are live already, and we are not going to wait for them for so long. So they should quickly come on board. All right. So tonight, I want to officially welcome us to the Court 1 week 2 wrap-up session of the Purpose Discovery session. For the phase 1, we know phase 1 is week 2 is a build-up of what we did in week 1, which has to do with purpose discovery, right? So tonight we are wrapping up with this amazing Ask Me Anything session. So if there's anything you need clarity on, I know some persons have been asking a lot of questions, and also the workplace competency tests assessment that was given to us by the partner organization was an opportunity for many of us to discover strengths and gaps, and I know many of us utilize that opportunity. So today we are going to be learning a lot. We are going to be learning a lot, right? We are going to be learning a lot. So I can't read our excitement, but let's just go on. Be here. Josh is saying I'm excited to be here. Uniklati is saying I'm excited to be here. Definitely. We're all excited to be here too. And we are glad to have you too. All right, today we are moving straight in. So we just have to get a glimpse. We have been seeing it all around, flying about the speaker. So this session is an opportunity for you to ask in your questions wherever you need clarity, and also even get practical action steps as regards gaps you have identified from the workplace competency test you did. So those questions you have, please pour them out. Don't be shy. I know we don't have shy people here. We actually have both people here. I trust us. Yes. So we have Coach Deborah Oladele with us already at the back end, and she'll be coming on board soon. So I'll be reading a brief about her. So we have a glimpse as to what we are in for, to build up our expectations. This is why we are doing this. So you know how you direct your questions, what area you believe, this person has that competency to actually clarify all my questions. So live with us here, we have our very coach, learners of Court 1 of the School of Purpose and Future Readiness Program. Please, if you can hear me, confirm that you can hear me. At any point where you stop hearing me, please just notify me. Please kindly confirm that you can still hear me. Kindly confirm that you can hear me. I'm with you in the comments. Yeah, somebody is saying week 2 session has been quite a great journey, and I'm looking forward to what is to unfold. Yes, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, learners of Course 1 of the School of Purpose and Future Readiness Program, we have an amazing personality with us, and we are so glad to have her with us. We're excited, we are opportuned to have her with us at the moment. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest today, Coach Deborah Oladele, is a performance development consultant. She's a coach, a speaker, a trainer, and author. She's the founder of Bridge the Bridge. I know that is more like a tongue twister. Bridge the Bridge. Yeah, she's the founder of Bridge the Bridge, a human and organizational development firm. I can't see myself. Okay, so she's the founder of Bridge the Bridge, a human and organizational performance consulting firm focused on one mission, which is helping people and systems move from potential to actual performance. She has worked across multiple industries, including edtech, health tech, consulting, and security, leading both marketing and program strategy roles, giving her a rare ability to understand both people and systems at the same time. That's big. She has trained individuals, students, and organizations, including Lagos Food Bank, Ediford, Grazak, and several academic leadership bodies, impacting over 2,000 lives across Africa and beyond. Her core message is simple but powerful, and that is poor performance is not just a skill problem, but a clarity, behavior, and systems problem. And tonight, she's here to help us answer deep questions around purpose, identity, direction, and real life readiness for the future. Cohort 1 learners, join me in welcoming Coach Deborah Oladele. So you're welcome, Ma. You have been added to the backstage. You have been added to stage. You have been added to stage, so you're live with us already.
Hi
Can you hear me?
everyone, good evening. Yes, I can hear you.
All
Can you
right.
hear me too?
Yes, I can, man.
Okay. How are we all doing? Thank you for having me. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here tonight. Okay. Am I going to be able to present? Can I present? Listen.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
So in case there are any issues, I can just also help out with showing the slides from my end.
Oh, okay. I think that would be great. Let me share that with you so that you can work with sharing it for us.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you so much for having me. I do not take it for granted. Just like Blessing has rightly said, my name is Deborah Baladile, and I am a performance development consultant, a trainer, a coach, a teacher, you know, and everything in between. Thank you very much, Ladan Josh. Thank you for welcoming me. I really appreciate that. Okay, Blessing, I shared these slides already. Do you have them now? Can you confirm to me, Blessing, if you have my slides so that I can start?
Okay. Confirming that in a bit.
Okay, okay. So I can as well just begin. All right, so we are looking at why do I feel lost even after school? And I must say that for anyone being here tonight, it's commendable that we are here tonight, or that we are part of the platform that is developing people. You know, one I was listening to a great man who was saying something today. He said they always say that value is that thing that helps you earn, and that's true. So, you know, you must have heard it at some point where they tell you that if you must make more money, or if you must even earn money at all, it should start with value. You have to provide value. You have to provide value. And that is very good. But the man went on to say something that the value you provide is still way more lesser than you becoming the value. And he was saying what makes you become the value is how you build yourself, the books you read, the people you interact with, programs that you join, events you go to, courses you take. Those are the things that build you. You know, those things form a great part of you that nobody can take away, regardless of any job that you are doing. So if you leave one job and you step into another job, you leave an industry to another industry, it doesn't change the value you have built in yourself. Okay. So one thing is very clear as we move on in this age of automation, AI, and every technology advancement that is happening, it is that you must become the value, you must become the asset beyond even the value you bring to your organization or wherever you find yourself. And yes, we must actually bring value to any organization we find ourselves. By all means, we must do that. But beyond that, you have to become the value. And you can argue that if I'm able to provide value to an organization, then it means I have value. Not necessarily. It's not always so. But again, that's not the direction for tonight's session. That's just like an opening. Okay. Listen, are you or let me even see if I can still try it from my end. Oh, blessing, are you able to share now?
Yes, I'm sharing. Please confirm if you can see it here.
Oh, great. I can see it. I can see it now. That's good. All right. So I think we can move to the next slide. Yes, let's move to the next slide, please. Many times we often think that we are stuck or we are in need of answers. And yes, we would always be in need of answers. But I think the most important thing to be sure of is that you are asking the right questions. You can be in a state where you're seeking answers to questions that you have, but you are not even supposed to be seeking answers to those kind of questions. There are other kind of questions that you should be seeking answers to. Okay. You're probably here knowing exactly why you are here, and some others are in this program because someone just told them to join, or they saw it somewhere, maybe they saw the flyer somewhere, or because the topic just caught your attention and you're like, okay, I'll be in this class today, or I'll even join the entire program, you know. And there's something in this conversation for you, every single person, wherever you are, whether you are still a student, you're a graduate, you're already a working class, you're a business owner, you're married, you have children, you're single, you're a man, you're a woman, any category you find yourself, there's something for you tonight. Okay. And I would be honest with you that we often have this sense, yes, let's have that slide. Thank you. Let's have the next slide, where you think everybody else has figured it out, and you are at the point where you're like, okay, this person seems to have it all together, that person seems to have it all together, everything seems to be working fine for this person, you know, everything seems to be working fine for everybody, except you. And I mean, it can be real. When I mean real, I mean you can actually look at it and you are able to see that yes, everything is actually working well for people around you. Do you get? And you would also be having questions in your heart to say, okay, I'm a graduate and it doesn't feel like I'm even a graduate. You know, some people thought that finishing school would really, really just open up every other thing about life to them, but it's not necessarily the truth. Some people don't even know what they want. When you entered 100 level, there was something in your mind. When you got to final year, the thing started to look like, no, it's not this thing anymore. And now you're probably even out of school. Maybe you're currently in your NYC year and you're like, this is another thing that doesn't feel realistic. This is the one that is now realistic to me. And things like that. Some people are even at the point where they don't even know where exactly to start. All right. Now, one thing I want us to know is that many times the questions we ask i- is everything, everything. And the reason why most people feel stuck is not that they lack potential, it's that they have been asking questions that are way too big for where they are, and they have been listening to wrong sources for direction. All right. Life requires us that we ask better questions. You know, questions like, what should I do with my life may be too big. Yes, what should I do with my life is a question that actually speaks to purpose, and it's not bad, but it may be too big for you and too vague for you. You know, it also tend to overwhelm you more than it helps you. And I know that you must have listened to many people like coaches, teachers, people you honor and respectfully speaking, where they would have even also said you should be asking questions like, what should I do with my life? And I have been there to where I told people to say, yes, this is a question you should be asking. But as we grow, we discover that this question is too big and too vague for many people, especially young people, and it overwhelms you more than it even helps you. If you are at this stage of your life and you are feeling uncertain, it is not necessarily that something is wrong with you. It is just that you are pulled in many directions, and you have not yet looked at the exact direction you should be looking at. Okay. Now, life has sources that are feeding us day and night, normal. You know, okay. We can still move to. We can still stay on that question slide. Thank you. You know, so life has that way of feeding us with answers, feeding us with things to do. It's the way life is structured. Is like the default state of being in the world, where you are constantly being fed. Somebody's telling you this is what you should do after school. Somebody's saying this is how to prepare for a job. Somebody's saying this is how to get into business. Somebody's saying you should leave the country once you are done with school. Many things, many things. So those things tend to pull us in many directions, and they pull us into external sources. They are external sources pulling us away from our own self. And what you should note is that they are automatic. I mean, it is how life is set up by default. Something is constantly feeding you. I mean, you can be in a public transport, maybe a bus or a keke napep, and you are hearing something. Maybe somebody's playing music, or some people beside you are just discussing. Take it or leave it, they are feeding you. Anything that enters your ears has entered your mind. There's nothing you can do about it. If it actually enters your ear, then it has entered your mind. All right. So you hear things, you are just going on your own. Somebody just gisting with you, and they're saying things that you didn't even know that's what they wanted to say. But they've said it and it has entered your mind. Your parents could call you, say something, they've said it. You are here again listening to me, I'm saying something. The things you have heard me say since I started talking, they have entered your mind. So constantly we have too many external sources that are speaking to us, communicating to us, and if it enters our mind, then there's every tendency that it would affect our way of life, our decision, except we are very intentional about it. Okay, and that's why you have to be intentional about who you listen to, the books you read, the people you follow, the conversations you lend your ears to, where you find yourself, even the movies you watch. Be very intentional. We would definitely need external sources, for as sources of knowledge, wisdom, counsel as you move along. But you don't want to follow the default style. I mean, default as in anything that just come from anybody. And like I said, it is already automatic, because you can be in a call where maybe is in school, you're waiting for a lecturer. Some people are speaking beside you. You can't tell them to keep quiet. So that's a default setting that is already there for you. You then have to be intentional about how you engage these things that you hear. You know, one very powerful thing you can do is to always look inward. Always look inward. So there are external sources which I already talked about, but there are internal sources too that you can actually leverage. All right. And what it means is you are your first source of that internal source. You are the first point of internal source. You can actually look inward. You can find what it is that your heart, your spirit is communicating to you. Many times people find this thing I'm saying very difficult, and it is because a lot of us live fast-paced life. You are always on the go. It's either you are on the go doing this, doing that, doing that. You don't have time that you set apart, to just you and you alone and you alone. No WhatsApp, no status checking, no Instagram, no TikTok, nobody talking to you. Your data is off. It's just you and you alone. People who live fast-paced life will find it difficult to get clarity in any way they're looking for clarity, whether it's regards to even who to marry, where to live, what job to do, any kind of clarity, they will find it very, very difficult. So one thing to pick from here tonight, if you don't listen to me again, is reflection is very, very important as you go on, and it starts with you. Sit with yourself. There's something you want to tell yourself. Yes, there's something you want to tell yourself that you have not told yourself, or that you have been telling yourself but you are not listening because you are busy about legitimate in the sense that you have to maybe step out to go to work, step out to go to classes. Maybe in your final year, you're working on projects. There are many, many demands here and there that you have to fulfill. So they are legitimate things, not like you're doing wrong things. There are good things that you have to do, but you now have to be intentional. That's why I talked about the external sources that they're already there by default. The one that is not there by default is that one that is internal that you have to sit with yourself. Too many external sources can actually it can bury your own internal voice, but you must not allow that, especially when you are at the face of needing clarity. Very, very important. All right. So we can move. So you are not necessarily out of direction, or you're not necessarily lacking direction. You're just surrounded with too many noise, that you can't even hear what you are telling yourself. And believe you me, there's a way God has wired everybody. When I mean everybody, I mean every single person that has been created here on earth. There's something in you that in a way helps you know what is right, in a way, in a way, in a way. Think of a mad person, and I want to hear our response in the chat concerning this. Have you seen a mad person before on the road? Have you seen a mad person cross the road before? Have you seen a mad person walking on the road and there's like a vehicle coming and they are able to make her just, move away from where the vehicle is coming to? Like, how are they mad? Yet they know that, oh, there is a vehicle coming. I need to step aside for this vehicle to pass. Has anybody seen that before? Have you observed that before? I'm actually waiting for a response in the chat. Okay, okay. Ladan Josh said yes, I have. Yeah. So, how is somebody, anyone considered mad, is a person that cannot think properly, cannot make wise decisions, does not know what he or she is doing. But they see a vehicle coming and they are able to step aside for the vehicle to pass. They are not walking on the same road that the vehicle is coming. Why? How do they know that one? How? How do they know that one? How does a mad person see food and is able to put food in his mouth and is not putting food in his anus? How? So I'm saying that there is something in us already, the way God wired every single person, Christians, Muslims, traditionalists, whoever you are, is the way God has wired us at creation. That there is a knowing in you. It's just there to help you navigate life at the bare minimum, that you're able to navigate life at the bare minimum. Okay, so there are many things that compete to lead us. There are many things that compete to speak to us, to counsel us, to direct us. And you have to then be diligent on your part, stay committed to say, I will deliberately choose whoever is going to lead me. That is one gift you must give. Gift yourself. Very, very important. Please let's move to the next slide. I was going to share this assessment with us to take in class because it's just an assessment that helps you assess yourself on four dimensions: your self awareness, how much do you know about yourself, self direction, exactly what we are looking at today in class, self management, and also self accountability. Basically, these are four dimensions of leadership. And when I mean leadership, I don't mean leadership as in you hold a position. I mean leading your own self. That's where everything starts from. Leading your own self is that you're able to make wise quality decisions that favor you, that honor you, that takes you where you want to go. All right. That is the link to the assessment. Because of time, I would not. I was actually going to pause and wait for everybody to take this assessment, but I'm not able to wait. But I will take just about 1 minute of the assessment takes about just 4 minutes actually. It's not something that is long. In 4 minutes you should be done. But I will take 1 minute off now and I'll be back. Once I'm back, we would continue. I would commit it to Blessing that she says to everybody take the assessment. Immediately you're done with the assessment, you see your own detailed report, you see where you are, you see how your choices, how you are, where you are, and how it has been affecting your choices, and you see one or two things you can start to do to move forward. All right, so let's take 1 minute to do that. If you're able to get on it quickly, and I'll be back again.
Okay, all right, guys. So um, have we been able to access the link? Would reach out to the coach now so that she can give us a direct access to the link that would easily help us navigate to the platform. So we have just 4 minutes to work on that, right? So I'm going to be sharing the link. If you can type out and access the link, you can as well do that. But I'm also getting approaching the coach so that she can give us direct access to it. So this helps you with the four dimensions of self-leadership. Remember, we have been talking about self-leadership a lot. Self-leadership, it matters a lot. Okay, Ladandosh, please, a minute so that we can assess. I can get it from the coach. Okay, so I'll be sending it now to the learners community. It's in the announcement forum, so just kindly go there and quickly take yours. And in 4 minutes, we trust you'll be back so we can have a detailed review as to your outputs. Okay, so check the announcements group, and I'm also going to be putting it down in the YouTube comment section for those who are external invitees so that you can also access it, right? So for learners in in session, just check the announcement. You see it there. Then for those who are externals, I'll be sending in the link shortly, please. Okay, I believe we're able to get that for learners. It's live already in the community. So you can check the comments. Is there already? You can just click on it, so it's going to redirect you. You'll be redirected to the assessment page. So this self-assessment, remember, she's still on the 4 dimensions of leadership. She mentioned self-awareness, self-accountability, self-management, and the like. So kindly take yours while we'll um, await your output so she can give a detailed review live with us. So in 3 minutes we'll be back. This is 8:11. So by 8:14, I believe we should all be done with it. So by 8:14, remember, we'll be back for the review. Your personal leadership assessment. We have just few more minutes to go, then we'll be back. I hope you have started taking yours. So. Sincerity matters a lot in self-assessment. So I encourage us to sincerely input every question that is asked in the self-awareness, self-direction, self-management, and self-accountability. So you get a better output. Okay, please, if you are done with yours already, just kindly type done in the comments section. Kindly type done. I am done with my assessment, or just type done, assessment done, how you want to put it, whatever way is best for you. Just notify that you are done so that the coach can come on board with us again. So I'm waiting for our comments in the chat box. If you are back with us, you are done, do let us know so that the coach can go ahead. So this is 8:15. 8:15 done. Chiamaka is done. Uniklati, she's done with assessment. She's done with assessment. So we currently have 2 persons who are done with theirs. Well done. Well done on completing the self-leadership assessment. Okay, so the coach will be back with us soon. Once we have at least nothing less than 3%, so we need one more person to help us complete that. So the coach has been notified, so she'll be back with us soon. So if you are done with your assessment, we need one more person. She'll take over. Yeah, she'll take the floor. Chiamaka is done. Niklati is done. We need one more person. Then we continue with the session. So, Coach Deborah, do you want to move ahead with the 2 persons that are already done theirs?
Yes, for time. Let's just
Alright.
move along.
All
Thank
right.
you for those who have attempted the assessments. Well done and thank you. The report of the assessment is, I believe, self-explanatory, and you'll see where you stand and what it means. At the end of the day, these are 4 dimensions that determine how you did yourself, how you organize your life outside of any other source or any other person in the picture. At the end of the day, when we look at the external sources that we tend to compare ourselves with, you would notice that nobody really posts about their confusion, nobody posts about their backlogs, nobody posts about their dead ends, nobody posts the negativity, right? Everybody, is trying to post what is good about them, what is theirs, what they're doing that is great, and it's not bad. You don't have to post something that you don't want to post. I mean, if you are sharing online, for instance, if you decide that that is just the good things about my life that I want to post, isn't bad, but you must understand that when you deal with people physically or even online, many people push or they give you a picture of what is working, what is going great, how they have it all put together, whether or not they have it all put together. And mind you, there are people who actually have it all put together and they actually post about it as well. So it is not to say that those who post about having it all put together are lying. No, not all of them. Some people truly, truly have it all put together. But what you must know is that you cannot base anything that is happening around you on other people. Many times the pressure we face, to act now or to say, what am I doing with my life? What is purpose? What my purpose? I should have moved past this stage and all of those things. Those things most times, are from external forces. That kind of urgency, most times, it's just the noise you are hearing from outside. It's the external things that are pushing you in that direction. And if you don't have a clear cut picture of where you are going, external things would actually make the most important decisions of your life without you knowing. You would think you are the one making those decisions, but really it will be external factors that are actually influencing your decision making. All right. Can we have the slides back now? So moving on to now speak to purpose. Purpose is not a destination you arrive at. It's not a destination you arrive at. It's not your job title. It's not your salary milestone. It's not your moving abroad. It's not your getting scholarship. It's not any of those things. Purpose is that thread that runs through how you naturally engage with the world, and it reveals itself through attention, not ambition. Attention, what gets your attention the most? Especially if you have been managing your attention. There's something called attention management. Not everyone manages their attention. So your attention will be drawn to something that is just fluff. So you cannot always even say, oh, because my attention is drawn to this thing, then it is this thing. No. You have to be sure that you are already at the point where you manage your attention. Okay, so purpose is not what you do at all. We can get to the next slide. It's not what you do, it's not something you just jump into and arrive at. It is the consistency in the way you show up. Okay, it is the why. Yes, that's purpose. It is why you show up the way you show up. It is why you dress the way you dress. It is why you speak the way you speak. Okay, so the broad question that we used to ask, what is my purpose? I already said it, it's too ambiguous, and we can do it better by asking simpler and smaller specific questions. More simpler, more specific questions that your life has already started answering. You just need to pay attention to it. So purpose is found in the pattern. And I'll give you three questions to ask regarding this subject of purpose. I started out talking about how you must ask right questions. If you're seeking answers, the first thing is to be sure that you're actually asking the right questions. It's not just to find the answer to the answers you're seeking, but first, am I asking the right questions? So there are three questions that I would ask you, and I would encourage you that after this session, you sit with those three questions. It will help you open up what purpose may look like to you. Number one is, what makes you angry or frustrated? When you see this thing, what's the thing about this thing that makes you angry? What's the thing about this thing that makes you frustrated? And all of the thing that makes you frustrated? What's the thing that makes you angry? When it's not done, when it's even done poorly. The fact that you are angry about it speaks volume. It's pointing to something in you. Pointing to something about you. It doesn't matter whether every other person around you feels the same way. No, everybody may just feel like this is a normal thing. And I found myself in that situation many, many times. Time will not permit. I would have loved to share stories upon stories, for us. But there's that thing, at least one, that gets you angry, gets you frustrated. You probably have not even paid attention to it to say, why am I always feeling this way when things are done like this, or when this person behaves like this, or when this happens? That's one question you want to sit with, because they often point to something that you deeply care about that you don't even know. Number two is, what would you still pursue? So if money, time, people were not a limitation, what would you go for? What would you do? If you have all the money in the whole world, all the money you can ever have, if you have it right now, what is that thing you will pursue? If you have all the time, not just 24 hours, let's say you have unlimited time like God, or you're not limited by time, what is that thing you will still do? If everybody in your life says yes, 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 your spouse, your parents, your siblings, your friends, if they tell you yes, 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 what is that thing you will do? So if you have the backing of everybody in your life and you have all the money in the world and you have all the time, what would you do? What would you do? Very, very important. What would you do? That's the second question. For me, what I'm doing right now is what I will still do. I would continue to teach, I will continue to train, I will continue to coach, I will continue to raise men. That's the core of my purpose, is to raise men. And I do it through passing knowledge, just like I'm doing tonight. I can be here for as long as I want to be here. I don't have a problem with it. Number three question to ask when you are finding purpose is, if everything is taken off. I mean, everything that is external. We talked about external sources. If you are stripped off of what this person is asking you, all of those things. If you are stripped of all of these things, you're stripped off of what your parents are saying about you, like you can't hear them. You're stripped off of what your siblings are saying about you. You can't hear anybody. It's just you. You are not on the media to see what anybody is doing that may influence you. I mean, if it's just you, there's no pressure financially, there's no pressure health-wise, no health challenge, nothing, nothing. And what do you think you should want? What would you still pick? So if everything is taken away and it's just you and you and you alone, no external force, whether positive force or negative force, nobody cheering you on and nobody talking down at you. Do you get? So no external force, I mean no external force that is positive, no external force that is negative, nothing, just you and you alone. What would you still choose? If you sit with these three questions and spend time in reflection, I mentioned reflection the other time. Reflection is not, you can't do it in a busy environment, and you can't do it even when your mind is busy. That's why you will need a quiet time where there are no distractions. You're not listening to any music. You're not on data that your phone is buzzing with chats. You're not, it's just you. And then your mind is calm. You're not worried. Nothing is bothering you at that point in time. Then sit with these three questions. I can tell you for a fact that, lights will shine and you start to get a glimpse of what your purpose could speak to. There are many more questions to ask, but you can start with these three for now. I would share a worksheet at the end. I'll share with Blessing and she will share with you that you can work with, these questions are there, some other things that could help you with the reflection and how you can move forward. Okay. You may not be able to answer these questions immediately. That's why that reflection session, that time off, is very, very important. And it's something you will do often. It's not a one off thing. It's something you must practice time alone, solitude, reflection. Very, very important if you must gain clarity. Clarity doesn't come when everything is muddled up together or when there are many people speaking. No, clarity comes in silent, quiet spaces. Okay. um, and when you now pick that thing alongside your results in the self-leadership assessments you just did, you start to see the things you need to start to do. It helps you move forward. All right, so moving on is that a life without direction doesn't stay still, and you must already have seen that. When you don't have a clear course of where you are going, you are just drifting. You're like, okay, is it here? Is it here? I'm not sure. Should I take this path? Should I take that path? Should I go straight? Should I call somebody? Should I wait? That's what it is with direction. And I'm bringing this to say that it's very, very important. If all you do for the next 1 month is that you're seeking clarity and direction about your life, very, very important. It's not going to be first about what job to do or what skill to learn. It is first about who am I supposed to become? That's the question of purpose, really. Do you get? So it's not about, oh, I'm done with school. I need a job. Yes, you need a job. And by all means, get a job as soon as you can. But that's not what we answer the question of purpose. That's not what we answer the question of direction. Especially if you are looking to live a fulfilled life. That's not what we are saying. You can get into any job, get into tech. Everybody seems to be learning tech now. So you get into tech, you earn big money, which is not bad, but it doesn't still answer the question of purpose. Do you see? And so it's very important that you seek direction as early as possible. Very, very important. It is the question to ask is actually to be asking about who is the person I want to become. Do you see? And if you work with those three questions I gave you, you start to see the picture of what exactly your heart is always pondering at or pointing to or hammering on. And you will need time to explore it more, and then you are able to see a clear-cut direction there. When you move in that direction, it then start to inform, oh, these are the kind of job I can take that fuels this direction or this purpose. Or you start to say, these are the kind of friends I need to keep because it fuels this vision, it moves this vision forward. That is how we get direction, and that is how we stay true to our calling, to our purpose. Do you see? So don't start out by saying, oh, what job should I take? Or I'm out of school, what do I do? Yes. What do you do after school? Start to get direction and start from what we are discussing here tonight. Do you see? It helps you a lot more. When you get direction, you even know the skill sets to acquire. You know the certification to go for. Very, very important. Do you see? So um there are let me just speak to this briefly. There's a document I would have loved to share. I don't have it handy. It just came to my mind now, and it will help a lot, especially if you have gone through this first phase of the leadership assessment and those three questions or those the worksheet I will give you. But let me quickly speak to it. So taking myself as an example, the core of my being, of my call, of my is to raise men, to raise people. Now, there are many ways to raise people. Do you see? So, if you get to a point where you say, "Oh, I've discovered my purpose, it is to raise men," you don't stop there. You still need to dig deep. How? Because there are many ways. I can speak to at least 12 dimensions. That's what I have in that particular resource that I'm saying about. But I'm not able to lay my hand on it. There are at least 12 dimensions that you can work with. So, you can raise men through writing, and you write books. That's what you're doing. Another person would be through speaking the way I'm speaking now, that I'm teaching, I'm coaching, I'm training, I'm speaking. So that's knowledge, passing knowledge. If it's writing too, you're passing knowledge. Can you see how you dig deep? I mean, the core is that I am called to raise me. How? You start to look at it, okay, through passing of knowledge. Okay, so how did I pass knowledge? When you arrive at passing knowledge, you still go deeper. Do you want to speak? Do you want to write? Or is it the two? You will still continue to ask many, many questions that are layered upon these three I gave you to get to the root cause, is it the root cause now, or to the get to the base layer, that helps you sit into your core. It could also be that yours is community. There is a name we call it, but it's more like building community. You want to raise men, so you start to host events. Enemy community, when you people that host massive events, where you just see 1,000 people or 2,000 or more than that in a, let's say, in a hall or something, they are also going to now say, oh, after this event, we have a community, every week we do this. It's not going to be like a cohort by cohort thing. It's going to be like a lifelong thing where it could be free throughout. It could be that you're paying a monthly subscription to just be in that community. That's also a way. Now, in the community, they are just discussing purpose. When somebody's sharing this, somebody's sharing that, you you are raising people in that, also in that dimension as well. Like I said, we can I can speak to at least 12 dimensions. So I'm saying this part to let you know that you have to continue to open it up, 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 till you actually get to where you sit into your core, and it now informs your decision making process such that you make quality targeted decision. Do you understand? It informs your job, the skills to take, whether you need to continue in a 9 to 5 or start a business, whether you need to stay in Nigeria or step outside of the country, whether it informs many, many things. That's why direction and purpose is very, very important. And the earlier you find it out, the better for you. All right. Let's move on quickly and see how we can round up. Don't make your decision by default, by all means. And if you're not clear on direction, you make decisions by default. So it will be about the person that is speaking the loudest to you. It will be about the person that is speaking the loudest to you. It will be a person. It will be about the person that is or maybe is it about the person that is maybe giving you the money. It will be about the person that is giving you the most convenience, or what is giving you the most convenience. It could be about you picking up a job that is now making you convenient. You now start to make decisions based on random things, not just direction and purpose, which is very, very dangerous. You start to look at what is the most convenient. You start to look at sometimes one of the things I tell people is that remote work is good. It's good, it's good, it's good by all means. And I see a lot of people want to do remote work, but if you sit more with it and you get wise counsel, not every remote work is good for you. Not every remote work is good for you. Just as an example, it's convenient and it's flexible, and everybody wants that level of convenience and flexibility, but not all remote work is good for you. What am I saying in essence? I'm saying don't make decisions by default. And the way to not make decisions by default is that you get a clear cut direction. Don't let circumstances make decisions before any circumstance, and issues of life will start to come up where they will now force you into a box that you do not want. That's why I like this kind of setup where we are reaching people early enough before you start to face this challenge, face that challenge, and have issues here and there. You can sit with the issue of getting direction quickly. Okay, very important so that you actually live a fulfilled life. You don't need a 5 year plan to do. Right now, you don't need a 5 year plan. You may not even need a 3 year plan, to be honest. You just need to find what is that one thing that then, map out every other thing. What is that one thing that then leads to many other parts? What is that one thing that if I get this one thing right, it opens me up to every other thing? That's like what you need right now. All right. When you gain even a rough sense of direction, something begins to shift. You know what I mean by a rough sense? I mean, just the glimpse. I mean, you just sit with the three questions and the worksheet will send, sit with it, not just once, do it, over and over and over for a period of time, and just start to see what would open up to you. It, you won't get everything all at once, and you don't have to get everything all at once before you step out. There's a level of clarity that comes when you get into the doing, but at least you can start with that worksheet. And if you start to get a rough sense, things start to shift. It's so powerful. So this week, this new week that we're starting tomorrow, find time and engage with it. You start to see which opportunities fit you and the ones that don't fit you. You start to see the friends that work for you and those that don't work for you. Not by you merely thinking that, oh, this person is always giving me money, that person is not always giving me money, or this person is always checking me up, that person is not always checking me up. No, you won't be making those decisions based on those parameters again. Those parameters are not the best parameters to make this kind of life changing decisions. It will be about purpose, about direction. This is where I'm going. Who are the people that look like where I'm going? Who are the people that we can go together? Who are people I can also drag along to say I'm supporting you along on this journey? That's how you then pick the people that are in your life. Okay, the direction gives you something like a filter where you're able to filter everything through that lens of direction. If it doesn't align with your purpose, with direction, with where you see yourself going, there's no point. Okay, it is with that filter you then start to make wise, quality, better decisions. Not necessarily perfect decisions, but better decisions. Okay, so clarity is not something you arrive at fully formed. No, it is something you build through small, consistent, intentional choices over time. Small, consistent, intentional choices over time. That is how you build clarity. That's how you gain clarity. All right. um so I must say that you are not necessarily behind. You are just at the beginning. Yes, and of course, being there will always beginnings. There has to be beginnings, and beginnings are not failures. They are the place you start out. That's it. They are the place you start out. Whether it's going to last or it's not last, you have to start out at the beginning. So the question is not whether you will figure it out or not. So don't be scared, don't be agitated, don't be worried about will I figure it out? How will I figure it out? No. The question is, will you actually be intentional about how you even go about figuring it out? And by intention, I mean what are the steps you start to take now from tomorrow about figuring it out? I mean, steps you will take about figuring it out. Do you have those things mapped out? Not just you sitting around and thinking it will come. People say, oh, everything will fall into place as you go along. Not necessarily, my dear. No, it may never fall into place. It has to be something you are intentional about, something you inch upon, something you commit to. So it's not about whether you figure it out or not. It is that if you follow this pattern, you definitely figure it out. And it is the pattern of consistent intentional choices over time. How do you make consistent intentional choices over time when you have a clear cut direction? If you don't have direction, you're not going to make consistent choices. So the place to start out is that same place of direction. And as I round up, I must still point out to say the first question is not which job to take, what skills to learn. By all means, learn skills. I one of the things I teach, is skills, and I have a learning platform for skills. So it's not out of place to learn skills, but the earlier you get clear on direction, it informs the skills you even um, acquire. All right, and this slide here, let me just close with this slide. God is solid backing to a well lived life. but it calls into question a shabby performance. What that means is that a well-lived life means that you are living a life first of all, and then you are living it well. So it is first about the life you are living. Then are you living it well? You can be living something well, and it's not even the life you should be living. One of the prayers my coach would always pray for us is that may you not get to the top of a ladder and discover that that ladder was leaning on the wrong wall. This not the wall you should lean on. It should be another wall. So you have climbed and climbed and climbed and climbed, and you got to the top. I discovered that wow, this is not where I should have climbed. It's the other one I should have climbed. That's what prayer she would always pray for. So it's not really about living. Yes, we must live our life, but first ensure that you're living the life you should live, then live it well, intentionally, consistent, intentional choices over time. So start with that direction. God calls to question shall be performance. This is like the the backbone of most of my even these courses that I build. Is that God calls to question a shabby performance, you know. And the way to not be shabby in your performance is first about understanding how to perform. If it is not clear that this is the right way to perform, so we can't really blame you if your performance is shabby. So again, clarity is not something you want to joke with. Okay. Thank you everyone for having me. I would like to put a stop to it here. I really, really believe that you have been blessed and that um, I want to believe you have been blessed and you have gotten some answers and level of clarity. Okay, am I good? Okay, so blessing, I think I should hand over to you now for questions.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you
everyone.
very much. Thank you very much, ma'am, for the time. And we really do not take it for granted. Remember, she says one key thing here: a well-lived life is living intentionally. So I would like us to drop in the comment one keynote from today's session and your questions. If you have any question, you can just quickly type them in so she can quickly attend to it before she log off the session. Yes, a well-lived life is living intentionally, and God calls to question a shabby performance. So write out your keynote from today's session. And if you have question, please just type yes while we wait for you to type in your question. Do you have any question you'd like to be attended to at this moment? So you can just type a yes so she can attend to it while she's still on stage. So thank you very much, ma'am, for that wonderful session. And there are many things we have learned so far here, and it's not just about the knowing or taking our time to connect to the very first point of contact. So what was the very first point of contact she mentioned during the session? Can we still remember? Hope we're following, we're writing down. Purpose gives direction. Yes, definitely. So what's that very first point of contact she mentioned during the session? Your internal source, right? Taking out time to pause on the moves. You just want to move on the next big thing, do the next big stuff. So you are just on the move, you want to get the next job, you want to acquire the next skill, forgetting um having a pause to gain clarity on who exactly you want to become. Yes, reflection matters a lot. So this weekend, take out time to reflect because we're entering the next phase two, and it has to do with skill development. So this helps us to build systematically. Remember, we took a whole 2 weeks to lay foundations on purpose discovery because that's the core of equipping the students message. So it's a strategic flow, not just discovery or not just development, but from discovery, then strategically building blocks um, in the right direction. So Laden says people will leave. If you have questions, please kindly type. We're rounding up the session soon. People who live a fast-paced life find it difficult to gain clarity. Yes, definitely. Thank you for that keynote. Okay, so do you have questions? Just let me know so that your speaker can log off. I realized we didn't drop in any question in the question box that was sent earlier this week. So, should in case during the session there were questions that popped up in your heart, in your mind, and you just want to just ask them, you can quickly do so now. So if you don't have, just confirm to me that no, I don't. Yes, I have. Do you have any question? We have to round up the session at most 8:55. Any question? Okay, Lat says no question at the moment. No question. So clarity is a practice and not a destination. Pay attention to what your life has already been trying to tell you. Begin to make small intentional choices starting this week. Thank you very much, Ma, for that powerful session. And we do appreciate you for your time and effort in putting this together and giving us access to um, the self leadership assessment. Okay, Ma, I think we have one question here. Josh says, what do I do when I feel I have something to pursue, but I am not able to clearly get a picture of it? Are you there, ma'am? Okay, so I'd like to
Okay.
request.
What do- Yeah, I can see it now. Thank you. What do I do when I feel I have something to pursue, but I'm not able to clearly get a picture of it? Yes, it's still the question of clarity. If you don't mind, you can, if there is something you want to pursue and you are happy to mention it, you can mention it so that I can speak to that directly. But let me just give an example while I wait if you are happy to mention that. What do you do when you feel you have something to pursue, but you're not able to clearly get a picture of it? So, let's say, for instance, at the bare minimum, you want to reach out to beggars on the streets or street children. You know, you just feel like, you don't like that you always see street children hawking, you know, not being taken care of, you know, anything could happen to them. They don't really have food to eat, clothes, good clothes on. Let's say that's an example. You are not able to clearly get a picture of it. You don't know how. That's the way I'm able to interpret your question now. And you don't know how to then engage. You know, a good place to start if you have any idea, any vision, anything, any project, anything at all that is coming up in your heart that you would really love to invest your time, your energy, you really want to go into it one way or the other, you know, even if it's for a limited time or for a lifetime, a good place to start is to get resources regarding that thing. Start to learn about that thing. Okay, so speaking to the example of street children, read about them. Just get to read about it. You know, read about what UNICEF. UNICEF is a universal body that deals with children. Read about what UNICEF has ever published on street children. Read about what street children in Nigeria or Africa looks like. You will see publications on it. Read about how street children are being dealt with even outside of Africa. What it does for you is that it starts to open your mind beyond that little drop that is already in your own heart. It starts to open your mind to possibilities. You don't want to be blind to possibilities that are open to you because you are not engaging. Okay, so if you have any idea at all, a next phase of clarity is that you will get resources regarding that thing. Just read about it. Take 30 minutes today, read about it. Take 30 minutes again tomorrow, read about it. Or even if it's 10 minutes, you're able to come into it at this point in time. Learn about it. It opens your mind to see beyond what is already in your heart. And what it means also is that that thing that is as a seed that has dropped in your heart that you want to pursue this thing, it is seed. When you read about it, you are it's like you're now engaging it. You're now putting the seed to the ground. You're now showing a level of commitment that this thing must grow. So you're putting it in the ground, you're planting, you're watering it. Do you see? So the next phase or a bare the baseline phase that you can start with is to learn about that thing. And I would say read about it. Don't say you don't read. I've met a lot of people that will say they don't read. That's not true. And that will not get you anywhere. So I hope I've been able to speak to that question. I did see a definite example from the person that asked the question. So that's the example that I can use. All right.
Hello,
And
Lenny.
okay.
Okay, can you confirm that you got um yeah, the question was clarified? You can go ahead, ma.
Yes, please confirm if I've been able to answer your question. Okay. I'm also, speaking with an assumption that everybody here, would do things in what's the language to use now? You want to do anything you want to do, you want to do it well. We just looked at that scripture that says God calls to question shabby performance. So it's not something you're just looking to do. Let's just do it and move on, kind of a thing. You're looking to do it and do it well. So it will require that you commit yourself. And one of the ways to that get resources regarding that thing. Okay, I can see there's another question. Okay, still from the same person. Another question is I already find myself in a career path in school in the medical field. I'm struggling with looking outside the field for other things I can do. How do I approach this? Why are you struggling with looking outside the field for other things? Like why what's the struggle there? Is it that you want to look outside the field and maybe you are constrained with maybe your parents or your siblings or you are thinking of how do I start all over again in another field when I'm already in a medical field? Or you are thinking of okay, which field will now give me the level of prestige or money that medical field is able to give me? What is it exactly that is making you struggle? Because if you say you're struggling with something, it's a bit vague. Are you struggling with approval on heat? Are you struggling with the choice of another field to venture into? Are you struggling with respect to the resources you have at hand? Are you struggling with respect to the time? I don't know your level. Maybe you feel that I've already spent some years in medical field. Starting all over again may look. So if you can speak to what exactly is making you struggle, it will help me answer your question better. But yeah, if you sit with the worksheets, it will give you an head idea of where your heart may be panting towards, and you could find a field in that aspect that works. Yes, you can find a field in that regard that works for you. Again, if you're able to make your question much more clear, I'll be able to give a definite answer that would help you beyond this one. All right.
Okay, Josh, are you typing so that we are aware because we're about to round up the session now? So the coach is asking if okay. I think he's not going for that. So here's what he
Okay,
says.
but did I answer your question? You satisfied in any way, or if you're happy to reach out, maybe later on, I mean, that may be a good one as well. But I need to be sure that your questions are answered. That's why we are in this call, Abi. That's why we are on this call. Is that not so? Can you confirm to us if we have answered your question? For real, for real. Be sincere with us.
Okay, I think Josh is not giving any response. So probably you can just reach out later on. Okay, it says the question has been answered. All right. I'm glad to know
All right,
that.
then. That's fine.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma, for your time, energy, efforts put together to ensure that this session was a success. We do not take it for granted. So, can you just give a word of appreciation to the coach um, as we close off this session?
Okay, I think I'm
Thank you
sorry.
very
I'm
much, ma'am.
saying,
Okay,
I think
okay,
Josh
it says
said,
our clarity. Okay. Okay, so what's your take on that, Ma? Would you prefer reaching out, him reaching out?
yeah, that's fine. That's okay.
Or, all right, ma'am. Okay, so I'll encourage us to connect with her on any of the social media handles available and also assess other future opportunities. You can see how she was able to support the learning process with the workplace competency assessment and also the personal leadership assessment. And she also mentioned she'll be sending in a worksheet. So I really want us to appreciate the coach for that. She's the founder and the lead trainer at Bridge the Bridge. So thank you very much, Ma, for your time. And do have a wonderful evening. Thank you, ma'am. Good night, everyone.
Welcome, everyone.
Opulence lives scale beyond. Wellness arrives. Opulence lives scale beyond the veil. Wellness arrives. Opulence lives scale beyond the veil. Wellness arrives. Opulence lives